Hello everyone, it's Spooky University time. If you participated in last week's topic of flat earth, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And my take on it, I do have to say that I am a round earth person. And I think, I'm going to, right now I'm going to show you a clip of a show called Star Talk. And it's a podcast, but it's also a YouTube channel. And Neil deGrasse Tyson is the host, and I have a huge amount of respect for him. And he's an educator, he's an astrophysicist. If you're not familiar with him, he's also very charismatic, and he's fun to watch and fun to listen to. So if you get a chance, you should definitely go check out some of his appearances, and he's done a ton of things. He's also written books and things, so I'm very much a fan of his. But I'm going to show you a little bit of a clip from one of his shows where he specifically addresses why the Earth is round. So here it is.
So tell me, Neil, is the Earth flat?
We have video from space of the rotating spherical Earth. The Earth is round.
Thank you for joining us on this episode.
So what's odd is there are people who think Earth is flat,
Right.
but recognize that the moon is round. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and the sun are all spheres, but Earth is flat. Almost everything in the universe is either spheres or slight distortions of a sphere for some other thing that's happening to it. I mean, we can just see how the universe favors spheres. Columbus's day, there was surely a flat Earth contingent. Okay?
Yes.
Columbus predates the era of experimental checking of any idea you might have.
Not a lot of peer-reviewed studies back in the day.
Back in the day. Back in the day.
Kind of just like...
You just say whatever you felt.
You know what? I believe that elephant poop will cure cancer.
There you go.
That's right. Wrote a paper about it. Like to read it? Here it is. And you're good, right?
Right. So it wasn't until Francis Bacon, Galileo, in the 1600s, where the idea that if you're going to say something and you think what you're saying is true, then no matter how obvious you think it is that it's true, you should still test it. Lunar eclipses. What's a lunar eclipse? If your face is the brilliant sun.
Thank you.
And this is Earth, and the moon is over here, the sun is always casting Earth's shadow into space. It's always there no matter what.
Right.
Obviously, okay? It's just a shadow.
It's a shadow.
The moon
It's just
occasionally...
a shadow shining on blackness.
a shadow in darkness.
It's shadow in darkness.
So the moon occasionally passes through that shadow. And if you see the shape of Earth's shadow on the moon, it is always round. Always round. If Earth were flat, sometimes you get like a flat shadow.
Right.
We've never seen a flat shadow.
Right.
In fact, it is a segment of a arc of a circle, no matter the orientation of the moon and the sun. And the only thing that makes a perfectly circular shadow
would be something that's perfectly circular.
Perfectly spherical.
Spherical. Right.
Yes. So the only thing that makes a perfect circle shadow every single time is a perfect sphere.
Right.
Okay? No matter what angle you shine. Whereas a disc, it would only make a perfect circle if you lined it that way.
Right.
And
so
then
you have to look at the face of the disc in order to get the circle.
The circle. If any other angle, you get other shapes.
Something of another
The
shape.
Greeks knew this.
Right.
All the lunar eclipses they said, oh my gosh, we must be in a round Earth. This is thousands of years,
before
2,000
Columbus.
years before Columbus. Exactly.
Right. Okay, so honestly, based on scientific evidence, I would definitely go with the fact that the Earth is round. And what Neil said, and I guess I'll call him Neil. I feel like I know him. I've watched enough of his shows and things, but based on what he says, it makes a lot of sense to me that the Earth is definitely round. He also has a saying, or something that he says a lot, and I'm not going to quote it verbatim, but basically his point is believe what you want, but maybe don't be in a position of power to make decisions about big things. And he talks about that when it comes to a lot of different things, not just this particular subject. But I find him very fascinating, and I find the topic of flat earth also very fascinating, just because knowing where we started and with the belief that the world was flat, and it took people dying and being jailed and a lot of other things before, the facts actually stood and were proved. There's my input on the flat earth conversation. Okay, so now what is our topic for this week? So I'm not gonna draw from the magic cup, even though it is right here behind me, but I'm trying to remember if we had this topic previously, and I don't think that we have. And once again, I think it might be a little bit controversial, just because I don't usually delve into religion or politics on this channel, because I want to separate those things normally. Just because people can be really disrespectful when it comes to conversations about those specific topics. And I don't want anybody to be disrespectful to each other. So the topic that I'm going to ask you to respond to this week is Wicca. What do you know about Wicca, the Wiccan belief system? I'll leave some links below, of course, for you to go check out. One of those links is going to be the Wiccan Read. I'd love for you to take a look at that and let me know what you think about it. Do you think Wicca is a religion, or is it, what do you think it is, I guess is the question. Yeah, so that's going to be our topic for this week, and I know it's kind of going against my own rules. Please be, and I know you will, the people that normally watch Spooky University and respond, but please be respectful to each other. If you disagree on the topic, that's perfectly fine. It's part of having a conversation sometimes. But if you are disrespectful to each other in the comments, I will definitely remove your comments, and I will I will block you, especially if you resort to personal insults and things like that. It's not necessary. And I don't know if you've watched my orientation to Spooky University, but one of the first things I ever said on this channel was that when you resort to personal insults and personal attacks, you've run out of argument. Your argument is no longer valid. So just keep it on topic and keep it respectful, and I think it'll be an interesting conversation. And since we're entering fall and all those good things to me, of course, I love fall, then I think it'll be a good time to talk about this. And have you ever known a Wiccan? Have you ever participated in any sort of activities that were Wiccan centered? Have you ever maybe not participated, but even seen a Wiccan ceremony? Tell me what you know about Wicca, and tell me what your thoughts are about it. And I know that some of you out there are very either religious or spiritual people. And again, please, I understand where you're coming from, so don't think that you have to not respond to this just because you are opposed to this particular topic. I want to hear all of your perspectives, so please feel free to talk about what you want to talk about, just in a respectful way, of course, like I said. And yeah, I think that's going to be it for this week's Spooky University. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will see you next Monday. Bye. Hey, Spooky Universitians. Why don't you click here to go check out some of the great responses that we've had over the years. Or maybe you prefer to click here and look at some of the topics that we've had. And of course, if you'd like, you can click here to subscribe. Thank you.